Hi, I'm Novice Sister Selma because sex work is real work and should be legalized and protected. Welcome to Selma Says, a video series where I interview members of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and we discuss a variety of topics from gay stuff to politics. For those of you who don't know, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence is a charity organization where members take vows to promulgate universal joy and expiate stigmatic guilt. We are here for a community to foster hope, creativity, and wellness. Before we begin, I just want to pop a disclaimer that this is not a family show. Names and topics might offend the easily offended, and by easily offended, I really just mean small minded bigots who hate drag nuns. Now let's get started, and today I'm joined by.
Hi, I'm a Sparkle.
And what house are you from?
I'm from the Emerald City Sisters in Wichita, Kansas.
Okay. And how long have you been a sister?
Oh gosh, I believe I've been a sister since 2 years actually.
Okay, for a couple years. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what does sistering mean to you?
Sistering means to me is actually the meaning of the sisters, which is spreading joy. I really love spreading joy, and because I want being somebody who's lived here in Wichita, that's the one thing I want to do is spread joy and love, in with being around people in Wichita.
Okay, fantastic. So let's get started with the topics. So we'll give them a little mix. I'll let you draw, and then I'll read them out, and then we'll have you respond to the questions.
Okay, let's see what that one says.
Okay. Recently, there has been a push to push the T out of the LGBT community by the heteronormative society we live in. With the fury of anti-trans bills, both at the state and national level, how do you see this negatively impacting the LGBT community?
It is very much negative impacting, and I say this because it's erasing history. Coming from somebody who loves teaching history and knowing the fact that the Stonewall Uprising was, it's still controversy who threw the first brick, but there was two main transgender women that were the forefront of this movement, and that it is very, very important that we need to teach that. We need to keep that going, because if we erase it, then there goes all the hard work that other people have done. And that's the thing, is like, we are blessed that we're walking on this street, this wonderful rainbow glittery street that is paved by all the blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes blood from people who protested and did everything they could to get where they're at today. And so to erase a piece of that is like erasing most of LGBT history, actually.
Yeah, for sure. And I also see it negatively impacting the LGBT community because we are a community. And so to try and get rid of a part of who we are is just not going to happen, for sure.
No.
Trans people have always existed, like throughout history, and they're not going anywhere. And so you might as well stop being a jerk and embrace people for who they are and just let them be themselves, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I don't see trans people don't hurt people by existing. No. Like, somebody's existence doesn't hurt you.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, a matter of fact, I believe that because trans people are a part of the community, but they're not. They can be gay and they can be straight, and that's the beautiful thing about the trans community. That's the reason why the trans community is its own community, because it doesn't involve sexuality or sexual orientation. It goes with what they believe of who they are inside, and that's what's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty.
They say there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. They being me. What are your thoughts on this statement? So, no such thing as an ethical billionaire.
I mean, to be honest, if there was a such thing as an ethical billionaire, there would be Batman. Honestly, and because that's the most ethical billionaire that's known.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I mean it's I do believe that there are people out there trying to do good what they could do within their means. Because
Mm-hmm.
what people don't realize is that when you move up to in different social classes, you can all
Mm-hmm.
there's also stigmas and also pressures and stuff like that. And does it give them an excuse to be this way?
Mm-hmm.
No, not really. They can choose not to. Like for instance, like great example, Costco is still doing their thing.
Yeah.
Arizona tea, they still keep their teas pretty cheap. They could
Mm-hmm.
raise them up, but they're
Yeah.
refusing to.
Yeah.
So things like that, I think that's the thing some of the rich can do to help out with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just unfortunately these are the people that these are generations where they don't remember how their parents or grandparents have started up this business or how they got to where they're at, and
Mm-hmm.
so this has been money passed down to them, and that's
Yeah.
basically all they want is money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure. So do you agree? Are there ethical billionaires?
oh, sorry. I think there are some out there that
Okay.
are trying to be ethical as much as possible within their means. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, like I said, like Arizona Tea and Costco, they're
Yeah.
great examples on that behalf. But yeah, I do believe there are some out there that try to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
you need to say anything or
No.
okay?
No. No.
Okay.
Because that was my thought. So
Oh,
that's my thought.
oop, jumper.
Yeah. Let's get this a little unmixed. There we go.
There we go. Let's see. I like the big long ones.
Yeah. I had a little more thought into them. Pittsburgh is one of the most recent U.S. cities to join the growing list of sanctuary cities for LGBT people living in this flaming shipwreck of a country we live in. How do you feel about the need for sanctuary cities, and would you ever move to one?
I do believe sanctuary cities are absolutely amazing. And coming from somebody who is born and raised here in Wichita, I always tell people that I always feel like a square peg in a round hole situation. And so, but I also know that as I grew up, knowing to see how many people have like Kansas' best export, it's not the wheat, it's people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's at some point I I have to stay here to do the good things. Now, if there's an opportunity that I get to move out of Wichita, yes, but in the meantime, I'm also raised to the point of if you're not happy where you're at, do something about it,
Yeah.
and so that's what I do is I go out and try and make the world a better place for everybody. And even though when I grew up in Wichita, yes, I was a late bloomer, but at the same time, there wasn't a lot of support and love until when I started getting more involved, and now
Mm-hmm.
seeing all this beautiful love and support that's happening, and I want to get involved in all this, even though I'm
Yeah.
only one person doing
Yeah.
this. And so to me, safe sanctuaries are amazing for people who need it, because there are people out there who are just that need that safety that they can go back and relocate and feel refreshed and loved and they belong there. And but then at the same time there are small communities like here where there really isn't a sanctuary. It's kind of hostile.
Yeah.
And like smaller areas outside of Kansas, it's quite hostile. But they still need people out there to show a representation of who we are and the love that we give to everyone around us.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, for the little ones who are still stuck here in the area, or people who
Yeah.
are not little who are stuck here, they know that they're still loved and representative.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think it's sad that we have to have sanctuary cities, that that's a thing. Like it's just really sad. Like it's sad to know that we have cities for migrants. Like that needs to be a thing, because like the violence that we've created in other countries and the instability that we've created, like with presence and money, it's just a shame that we have to have cities just like for immigrants, but now to like also have to have them for LGBT people is really concerning for sure. I'm grateful for that resource, and if shit really does hit the fan, Mama's moving. You know? So I don't know what shit hitting the fan looks like, but I'll know it when I see it. And I have a little bit saved just for that purpose. And me and the two cats, bye. Like, we're out of here. For sure, if need be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. I like these questions. These are really good questions.
Yeah. Here we go. Mother Monster just released a new album. What are your favorites? So what is your favorite song or songs? And are you a fan of Lady Gaga? I guess are you a fan of Lady Gaga should have been the first question. But there was just the assumption that everybody loves her. Mother Monster. So so the first question would be, are you a fan of Lady Gaga? And then what are some favorite songs that you have of hers?
I do love Lady Gaga.
Okay.
I actually fell in love with her because, okay, I am one of those gays that started off with Cher and Madonna.
Yes.
And then I know the whole fandom fights between Madonna and Lady Gaga, and I was like, girls, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down. But no, I love the fact that knowing that Lady Gaga looks up to Madonna, and then also she may have sampled a little bit of Madonna's music, and that's a-okay. That show, and they say in the artist world, that copying is a form of like flattery. It's a form of they think that's perfect, and they want to take a little bit of that and add on to it, just like most artists do. And so I love Lady Gaga. I do love actually I love her. I like some of the musics that were not like besides what was her first one I liked that made her popular? Poker Face.
Okay.
That one I really liked that. And then I do like her most overplayed now, but it's actually amazing. It's great that she went back into pop and being amazing that she is, and how she's embracing it and showing love to the LGBT community, who's like, oh my God, let me put it on TikTok, and she's doing that. And so what other songs do I like of hers? Honestly, I didn't really care about when she went in the musical side.
Okay.
But I did like her. What was the one song I really liked? Judas. I love Judas.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's a really good song.
What about you?
I love Lady Gaga. I've been a fan since the beginning, so I am very excited that she came out with a new album, Mayhem. My favorite ones are probably Disease and Abracadabra. I know they've been out the longest and they have music videos, but I've just been really able to connect with them a lot and really enjoyed getting to know the dance moves for those. Has been really enjoyable. I really like Garden of Eden as well, and Vanish Into You is another really good one. I can say there isn't a single song on this album that I'm like, I don't know if we hit the mark with this one. I think they're all bangers for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And one more?
Yeah, we have time for one more.
One more. Flip around, flip around. There you go.
Okay. Kamala Harris says that she's running in 2028. If you didn't know that, you now know. What is your take on the 2024 election? So she's rerunning, but what about her loss?
I think she needs to step it up. And I love her. I think she is a great individual. I think what really hurt her more is the fact that there was questions that were asked and she didn't answer them. She tried to dance around them, or she goes, oh, we're going to keep it the same like Biden did, which not a lot of people liked what Biden was doing. So I have this big rant about the Democratic Party because I'm a paper Democrat. I am registered to be Democrat. I'm more leaning more of the Green Party, and so I do believe that some of the Democrats who are on there are on the like gosh, now their names will right out of my brain, but anyway, Bernie Sanders was one person I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was a really good candidate, and it was a shame that the Democrat Party just kind of like tossed him aside. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
purposely tried to toss him aside. And yes, I understand that he's considered too old
Mm-hmm.
now, but I mean, hello,
Yeah.
who's already in the seats right now?
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
and but that's the thing too. Like we also do have younger individuals who are wanting to step up, and I think that I think Kamala, I think I pronounced it right, or
Mm-hmm.
Miss Harris, had a great idea on some of the points. It was just the other points that really did matter. She just didn't answer on, and that's what really hurt her. And I think that's the reason why I said I think the Democratic Party just really needs to step up. And the more that we step up, the more because I feel like they're almost following the same footsteps as the Whig Party did, where they couldn't decide where they wanted to go, and that's what caused the Whig Party to like fall out of the race is because of that. That's Republicans stepped in and took over where the Whig parties fell out, and so that's the thing. I feel like that if the Democrats don't ship up, they're going to unfortunately ship out because there's other parties about to come in and wanting to take over that spot. So, what about you?
I was devastated for sure by the 2024 election and the results, and just like waking up after election night and seeing the news, I was like heartbroken. And it was 2016 all over again. And 2016 was rough. Those first 4 years were hell, and these are also shaping up to be pretty freaking hellish. And so I was devastated when he was reelected, and I think America really showed how much it hates women. They're just not ready for a woman president, or at least they think they're not, because this is the second time that we've had the chance to actually like do something and to have a woman president, and we've said no thank you, and in a really harsh way. And so I was devastated by the election.
I actually I know you pointed out the two female candidates, and honestly, I would rather vote for Harris than Clinton, in my opinion. So that's for me. So.
Yeah. Well, now we've come to a part of the show called Ask a Sister, and the show welcomes interaction. So if you have a question for a sister, or have a topic that you might want to know what we think about something, submit them by commenting on this video.
Yes.
So, Emma, we'll have you draw.
Oh, I'm a Will. Okay, there you go. And there's one already popped out here, so we're going to keep that off the side.
This is actually a commenter's question from YouTube.
Woo!
Yeah. How do you stay from internalizing queerphobia, especially transphobia, in the face of so much propaganda?
What is that question one more time? Can you answer
Yeah,
again?
for sure. So how do you stay away from internalizing queerphobia, especially transphobia, in the face of so much propaganda?
One word: education.
Yeah.
Education. I always tell people if you don't understand the situation, walk in with curiosity. As a matter of fact, that is a quote that I kind of borrowed from the cinema therapy guys. That was the one thing that the therapist even mentioned is walk in with curiosity, and that is the thing I always tell people: walk in with curiosity. Don't go in with fear, because fear is going to lead to hate. We walk in with curiosity and wanting to know more about the individual, and that's all that matters, because once you walk in with curiosity, you get to learn so much, and it's beautiful on that behalf.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, the way that I stay away from internalizing queerphobia and especially transphobia, is just like absolutely not. Like that will never fucking happen. Like I will never be a transphobic gay person. Like it's just something that I decided a long time ago that trans people are a part of this community. It is the LGBT community. And so like absolutely not. We're not gonna have like I don't even entertain that conversation. Like if somebody were to try to like walk up to me off the street and talk about how like terrible trans people are or whatever, some bullshit that some bootlicker wants to think and say, like, I'm going to be like, absolutely not. I'm not having this conversation with you. Because hate will not help. Hate's not going to make it great. It's not going to bring our community together, especially breaking it apart. And that's exactly what they want to do. They want to break us apart and tear us down so we can't fight back.
I can see that, and what I can see about that is somebody coming up. Honestly, if somebody came up to me and started talking to me about that, I'll start engaging with them and going, "Why do you think that way?" And understand the core of it, because in my honest belief, they honestly have not met anybody who is trans,
Yeah.
and so thus they are just speculating what is being spoon fed to them from the media,
Yeah.
and whatever media it is, and that's the thing is they don't understand, and so sometimes I that's where I feel like not even just IMA, like even outside of IMA, that is kind of my job as an individual who is, you know, about education and raising awareness behind it, is that, you know, just because you don't agree with those views does not mean that that you should tuck them away, because that's the bad part about life. And
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, when I talk to people who are spewing the same hatred, and I asked them the same question. I'm like, so what do you think about gay and lesbians? And they're like, oh, we're cool about them. And I'm like, but the same hate that you're spewing was the same words that I heard a long time ago when I was a teenager. Like the words, the phrases that they say is nothing new.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that that's the reason why I use this opportunity to go, you know what, I've heard this a long time ago. I'm going to bring this awareness again and let people know that, hey, this is the way we are. Nobody's leaving. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, thank you so much, commenter, for that question. That's a really great question.
Thank you.
And Ima, thank you so much for being a part of my video series.
Thank you.
And everybody, thank you for watching and being a part of the journey. And continue watching and continue commenting on the videos and engaging so we can continue to engage with you. Thanks. Bye.